Hi, the Mainlander. This lecture is called the Pentagram and the Pentagon. And don't worry, I've not turned Muslim. Alhamdulillah. I've gone insane. This is a little souvenir I got from my last short stay in Park House, which is a mental health unit of North Manchester General Hospital. You might have noticed I've got a sense of humour, and it's relative to the saying, if you don't laugh you'll cry. True story. But to take that a little bit further, about 2-3 years ago, I realised, that I'm kind of talented comically, amongst other things. But I had a tendency, just organically, naturally, to make jokes out of very, very serious issues. And I've kind of evolved that. So it's relative to what I was going to say. In order not to offend anybody personally, I'll either make the joke about myself or start off with a joke about myself, and then make the really funny joke that's not funny at all. But I realised that there's therapy in humour, and that's also relative to counselling techniques where you identify underlying issues, etc., or even apparent issues. You discuss them in a kind of directed way, and rather than bottling all that associated emotion up, emotionally and mentally, you share it. But the problem I have personally is that I have a greater understanding of psychology, and I also have an insight into the personal lives of civil servants. So work the rest yourself out. You can actually treat yourself with cognitive behavioural therapy, or I'm sure if you ask Siri, there's like numerous online techniques that you can work on yourself. But this is relative to medication, and something that I personally developed is that I just don't take a tablet off a doctor. I'll go and ask Siri, what is that tablet? What's it do? What's it for? Benefits, pros, cons, side effects, etc. And I advise everybody to do the same. Personally, my doctor is very busy surgery, so sometimes you see a doctor that you don't know. So basically, that person's a stranger. So are you just going to take a tablet off a stranger without researching what that tablet is? And the same goes for therapy. Do your own research about what that therapy is about, how it works, what they're going to do, etc., etc. It's logical. Deviating a bit, that although I've been to hospital twice regarding mental health issues, I believe that I was suffering with mental health conditions that was overlooked or not apparent on my visits to a hospital previously. So, and also because of my mistrust of society, especially civil servants, etc. I've learned to treat myself, and I'm very close to actually curing myself, and you know, it's something that I've had to learn of necessity, and it's been a painful journey of learning, because I haven't really researched this, but I don't think my strain of mental health is actually documented. You know, it's not acknowledged. So, you know, it'd be nice to have a PhD, but you know, not too big-headed. That I've kind of surpassed most levels of knowledge. Obviously, nobody can know everything. Like God, the universe is unfathomable. It's just like that. Like, it's logical to believe that the universe expands constantly. It's growing, and that's related to God. So even if somebody learned everything, God keeps growing and evolving. So there's always more to learn. And not only that, me personally, I need know more than you need to know. You only need to know what you need to know. Unless it's your job, or it's in your interest, or for the interest of humanity. You know? Who cares? So going back a bit, that in me diagnosing myself and learning my vulnerabilities and issues, and learning how to fix myself and overcome my issues. It's not quite schizophrenic, and it's a little bit worse than PTSD. This is a post-traumatic stress disorder, but they're kind of relative. I believe that you know, perseverance and consistent cases of PTSD will actually evolve into a schizophrenic condition over a course of time. So what's relative is that a lot of PTSD sufferers, they express that like 10, 20 years later, because actually this is key to the solution, you know, the cure to myself and others that suffer with similar mental health issues. What's key, and that's relative to counselling, and what the counsellors do, is that, for example, PTSD is highly, in most cases, caused, you know, the name is self-explanatory, to a very traumatic event or a series of them. So, for example, a very nice lady, she actually helped me, and it was just general banter, chit chat. You know, I don't know if she's kind of mystical, you know, she just pretends to work in a sunbed shop or what, I don't know. But we were just chatting, and she says that she suffers with PTSD, and she identified that sometimes she gets triggered, and luckily for her, she could identify what was actually triggering the PTSD relapse or whatever attack, which is like a horrible anxiety attack. It's like all that stress and pain, it's there right in the subconscious, and then something triggers it, and you have like an anxiety attack, and it brings all that years of pain. And take it even further, that it's relative to mental tagging, you know, like Tony Buzan, simple psychology books, like the kids can read these books, you know, they're very simple, they're complex, but they're simple techniques and effective. So basically, you know, a simple breakdown to mental tags is, say for example, you want to remember a green object, then mentally you associate that green object with, say for example, number 2, and you know, you do a series of can't find the right word to describe it, like you know, it can be like, even like a crossword, or you know, these techniques, like say you play a little do a little test, or you play a little mental game or whatever, and that game is created to help the mental tagging process. So basically, what you do is you associate the green object with number 2. So in your brain, when you need to recall it, it will help you recall it. And you know, I support these kind of theories, and they're effective. But I've learned that and it's relative to corrupt civil servants and you know, the whole corrupt society world what we live in. Double standard facade. It makes me sick personally. You know, like literally, I respect an open gay person. I've got no problem with an open gay person. You know, I'm not gay, so don't take it too far, and we're good. You know, we can have a joke, whatever. It's cool. But now, a closet gay person, you know, they scare me. People, you know, with these double life, double standards, like they are the real scary people. Take my word for it. Not to deviate, I forgot what I was going to say. Maybe I'll remember in a minute. Let's get to the point of the lecture, because I've not even started, and we're like 13 minutes in. As you know, I'm blessed, and I've always had an interest in architecture, and I've always liked to draw, create things. You know, as a child, I was very keen on art and history and English and maths, and music actually, and IT. You know, I got 5 GCSEs to my name and a British industrial cleaning qualification. Fucking blue tick, yeah. We'll discuss the Pentagram. Now, the Pentagram is probably the most misunderstood, or you know, it's Saturday night. I can't remember the right word, but misunderstood describes it. But actually, it's not even stolen, because it's relative to the swastika. That the pentagram, 5-pointed star, it is associated with the occult and all devil worshipping and all weird stuff, yeah. But in actuality, if you pay attention, the pentagram's upside down. So the point that should be at the top is at the bottom. So that's relative to the swastika and the pratika, and it shows clearly that it's the opposite. It's the reverse, it's the good, it's the bad. So the symbology is not actually stolen. What's happened is the reverse symbols have been kind of politically, what's the right word? Propaganda, dogmatized, and so everyone's got confused, you know, and they just associate. Say if I show you the Practica or the Pentagram, you say, oh, he's devil worshipper, he's a Freemason, he's Illuminati, yeah? Which is actually true, yeah? Not really. So, I'm going to clarify this for the likes of humanity and anyone else who cares to pay attention and enlighten yourself and step into the light and know the truth, live with the truth, speak only the truth, don't be scared of the truth, yeah? Because, you know, without going too weird, yeah, that I might have expressed previously that there's this force what binds all the periodic elements together, all the neutrons, atoms, protons, all that, yeah. Some force that makes us apparently be alive, makes us think. Think is more relative to it. That that's what I was going to say. That basically, I associate that with God, and I associate that with the light. I mean, I think the light, rather than God, for atheists can believe in the light. You don't have to believe in God, because atheists kind of just like logical people more time, that they only believe what's provable, and that's logical, yeah. So, you know, it is provable metaphysics that there is energies that are not yet fully explained, you know, to the mass public, but basically, that force is everywhere. Yeah, I don't want to deviate and go into that force right now. That's you know, that's many other lectures. But basically, that force, that God, that light, that is Almighty. So what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to express with that word weird is that darkness, yeah, it's part of the light. The yin yang, there's no doubt without no like the plus, the negative, you know, it's relative to a lot of things in nature, etc., plus negative. But the light is superior, basically. Right, without to deviate. The pentagram, yeah, with the main point at the top, like this, look. Yeah? That is not a symbol of devil worship. That is very, very, very relative, important and beneficial symbol. And like I've already expressed, symbols are ancient. So they can mean numerous things. Yeah, you can't just say, oh right, well, that symbol means this. You know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion and perception. Like, I make my own symbols up. I mean, so basically, it's a 5-pointed star, and it's highly relative to the US of A. Yeah, so you know, a lot of us think, oh, the US of A, they're fucking devil worshippers, fucking Illuminati, whatever. Well, that might be true, but actually, the symbology of what they use is good symbology. But this is relative to the dark and light, right? Any knowledge, any intent, any magic that one uses upon another, and that isn't for the benefit of that person or for the benefit of humanity, that is bad. If you're a bad person, bad things are going to happen to you. Trust me. Can't lie to God. Yeah, so basically, you know, generally, if you don't do things with good intent, you're a bad person. Yeah? And your subconscious is part of the light, part of God. So who are you lying to? You're only lying to your ego, which isn't even real. Don't listen to me. I'm crazy. I've had meds, don't worry. So the pentagram, 5-pointed star. Yeah, not upside down. Upside down is bad. We're gonna get to that in a minute. So, you know, the first meaning what I learned from it, it's relative meaning. It's cool meaning. Yeah, it's like me, you, we, all, us at the top. Yeah? And then you go to the Pentagon, Yeah? That's the unification, the us. Yeah? And it's also relative to another meaning what I'm going to express. Yeah? So, what is it? The Pentagon in DC, you know, all that, yeah? It's actually a good symbol. Yeah? But like I says, I think I went to mention it in before, but I didn't actually clarify it, that and it's my problem with going to counselling and opening up to people, etc., etc., is that it seems in this society, everybody is withholding knowledge to use it on the rest of society with bad intent. You know, this horrible capitalist CK1, you know, society that we live in. So nobody's sharing knowledge, or hardly anybody. And people that know stuff go on like they don't know stuff, and they use it on other people for their own motives. I wouldn't want to be you on Judgment Day. You better pray reincarnation is not real. I know it is. That's why I'm still alive. That's why I don't give up. Because I'm going to transgress. Yeah? You're going to de-transgress. You don't believe me? It's your choice. It's your perception. So, I've associated another meaning to it. And it's really, really simple and logical. That the 5 points of the pentagram actually represent the 5 senses of the human. Yeah? And that's why the pentagram is also relative to all mystical and occult stuff. And this is another thing that, you know, we start learning into metaphysical stuff. A lot of stuff that isn't commonly shared. Even though, you know, you can access it if you want to. Like, I've downloaded a brilliant literature site called Academia. Now, Academia, as far as I can perceive, is a website where people put their own works up, unpublished, and like literally all kinds of weird and wonderful and beautiful writing up there. And I downloaded, you know, when I was suicidal, not really with any intent, I just kind of come across it, and I was curious. I downloaded apparently a spell to call on the power of 270,000 souls. You know, what goes before, goes behind, goes before, goes in front, goes in. And a sugar cube is only a sugar cube. So I was a bit cautious though. I thought, hold on a minute. You know, I'm suicidal here. Like, I need help, but you know, do I really need help from 270,000? God knows what, lost souls. Like, so luckily, I seek advice from some great men, and the great men kind of says, listen, swear about that, yeah, it's a bad shout. So I thought about it for a bit, and I thought, you know what, it's right. Basically, the point is this, that you know, it can all be as mystical and Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings as you want it to be. That's your choice. Me, I just keep it real. Yeah, it's easy like that. It's simple like that. And not only that, I find that you start going on that side of things, then that is the dark side, and it just gets darker and darker and darker. Like literally, I put it like this: I've messed about with a bit of magic, little bits, and there's consequences and side effects to playing around with my magic, you know, because most people, myself being one of them, I've not fully got the understanding of it, so you don't really know what you're doing and what you're playing. But all I know is the side effects. So even to do a little card trick to impress a girl, that has side effects. You're opening doors, you know, let's describe it psychological or metaphysical. You're opening doors mentally or spiritually. You might not be able to shut that door. And it's like, it goes further and further and further. And that's one thing I always say to a lot of people. Darkness only leads to darkness. It just gets darker and darker and darker and darker and darker. If you don't believe me, that's your choice. Yeah, good luck to you. Yeah. It's often the case that people have to go to the depths of darkness because the light is the only way out of darkness. Simple. You know, it seems a lot of people like the darkness. Yeah. So, the pentagram could possibly be relative to the five senses. So you've got smell, you've got sight, you've got hearing, you've got taste, and you've got touch. Now, this is where it can go all spooky and Game of Thrones and mystical and all that, yeah. That the term is self-explanatory again, ESP. So basically, when your five senses are attuned and at peak, yeah, they join the circuit. Pentagram, yeah. You gain ESP. Now, if you want to levitate, you know, see through walls, you know, do telepathy or telekinesis, good luck to you. It's your choice. Yeah, but nothing comes for free. But the point is this, yeah, and it's relative to what I said, that if you ain't doing something for the greater good, then it's bad. So, I'm thinking, alright, to levitate, you know, telekinesis, teleport, telepathy, oh, that's great. Very impressive, you know. The girls will love it. But, I mean, why do I want to do that for? Especially if there's a price to pay for it. That's my perspective anyway. Yeah, you know, it's relative to only need to know what you need to know. Or only buy the food what you need to eat. Only steal what you need. Yeah, don't steal if you've got money. Why? You know, that's bad. So kids, only steal when you've got no money. And only steal what you need. Put the rest back. Not really. So basically, when your five senses are all at peak and in tune, you know, and that's probably relative to your chakras, and you know, I can go on and on and on and on and on. That you actually gain extrasensory perception. Now, for me, like literally, I can just hear a bit better, or like I can read people's gestures, you know, or I can hear what they're expressing in between the lines of what they're actually saying. Stuff like that, you know. I can't levitate, you know, any of that. I might look like Dynamo, but I will tell a hoe, yeah. I don't do tricks, do I look like a prick? Yeah, I think I've rambled on enough for today. So, the pentagram is relative to all we, us, and that's relative to what I mentioned. It was on a live, so it's on my personal Facebook, Louie Zee. That I believe human consciousness is communal, it's connected, and you know that's another lecture. And we'll work in stages. There's no rush. I'm not going to get assassinated or anything like that, you know. I'm not doing this to keep a legacy, document this shit. Yeah? Like, I'm breaking this shit down like no one has in history. Like, why? What's up with everyone? It's not fair. Everyone has a right to know, you know, science and what's really going on.